Because I believe this is a core issue in the destruction of Western civilization, let's talk about whether it is possible to turn down a request made by a woman. Is it possible to say no to women? Because the word no means something totally different than what it insinuates. This is a test of a man's character. It's not just a matter of whether you can refuse the woman, it's also about whether you can refuse what tempts you, and whether you have the self-control to do so. One thing you can say when looking at Western civilization is we clearly aren't disciplined enough to say no to women, and this lack of discipline is holding us prisoner. We are being held hostage by our own compassion, because we're discussing the virtues and values of good, decent humans. The people who constitute Western civilization's civilized people, and these are the men who created the entire system as well as the laws that govern it. These are the men who built the structures and created the breakthroughs. We're not talking about the elderly, children, or women who are in some way involved with the system. So these are the people who need to be able to say no to women. Let me tell you a story first before we go any further. It's a story from my childhood. One day, a friend of mine wanted to impress some new girls he had just met. So he stole his mother's car and went for a ride, and everyone had a great time. However, as we were leaving, one of the girls requested that we make a pit stop on the way home. She tried to argue that because it was her 16th birthday, she should be allowed to drive on her birthday, and after some whining and complaining, her friend relented and let her drive the car. Of course, she was told that if she didn't know how to drive, she couldn't. However, she insisted that she should be allowed to do whatever she wanted, because it was her birthday after all. And you probably already know what's going to happen next. It didn't take her more than 2 or 3 seconds to start the car and put her foot on the gas to simply collide with whatever was in front of her. And then the car was severely damaged, and that was the end of it. You'd think the lesson was learned because the car was badly damaged. When a woman declares an interest in something, a man must be capable of refusing her unless he is certain what she wants is the best option. However, this situation did not go as planned, and I believe the universe was attempting to give me a lesson at the time, and I wish I had known it back then, but I didn't. So, hopefully you'll be able to apply something I've said here to your own life. That's all there is to it. That's the end of the story. You should be overjoyed and proud of yourself, but they aren't. And the reason why they're unhappy is because they can't say no to women. That's why they shame other men. And I have no idea why you're so hostile and angry. You should be happy and proud of yourself. When another man stands up and says, "No, I'm not a servant and I'm not a slave to my desires," the rest of the world become my servants and slaves based on dominance. This is because it serves as a servant to his feelings for and desire for women. No amount of compassion or pity can put the power in the hands of the powerless. Do the things you make sacrifices for and the people you serve as a man have power over you? And is this something you have chosen to do? If you're only in love with women and are willing to go to any length for them, you have not chosen to do anything. And as a result, these things do have power over you. As a result, when you're asked if you can say no to women, the answer should be yes. I'm asking you if you can say no to your own desires and recognize the predicament that Western civilization finds itself in. We can't say no to women's desire and needs, or the anguish endured by social justice warriors. According to this liberal and postmodern worldview, we are unable to say no, and you are unable to say no. In fact, you are unable to hold any values at all, because it makes no difference what preferences you express. You'll simply be called a racist, sexist, or homophobe. And this is how Western civilization's ideals are being applied, to destroy Western civilization by Western civilization's enemies. This is happening because good people in Western civilization cannot say no to their pity, compassion, or virtue signaling. Thanks for watching. If you like our stuff, subscribe for more motivational content. See you in the next video of The Generous.